Hi, this is Dave Johnston with Day Trade the Markets, and we're looking at a 1 minute chart of the E-mini S&P. Today is October the 26th, 2016. So I put in an order, just got filled here, short 2 at 21.3350. I've got another order to sell another 2 up here at 21.3450. The market has had a nice rally today after a lower opening, gap opening lower. Let's see, we can kind of squeeze this up a little bit. See the whole day here. So you can see we had the early morning volatility in here. Then it rallied up, which appeared to be on the heels of the crude market because the crude news was released right at this time. It rallied very strongly. It's also selling off now, and you can see here that we had one wave here, sort of a pause, and another wave. So it appears that we're coming down. You can see with the day trade the markets, we have a trade location zone here that the market is piercing through. It hasn't really spent too much time below here, but it has spent some, and I'm anticipating that it's going to continue lower, which is why I've gotten short here already, and then another price should it pop up. Because oftentimes when we do get a red bar, which is our second strongest aggressive selling, the magenta you can see over here is the strongest selling, it will often pop up at about halfway, maybe towards the top of it before selling off again. The blue bars here are the strongest aggressive bars on the buy side. I actually placed manually this blue horizontal line here. That was a barrier that we had going into today. The market did pierce through it nicely, held it as support here, did have a bounce but couldn't make a new high, and then it's really kind of been sloping downward ever since. If the market should spend more time below this blue bar here, and the price of that is right at the top of this trade location zone that we've got right here, that is a very bearish development, and we're likely to see some more follow through lower. So I think for now we'll just have to give this a little bit of time, and we'll just sort of take it from there. So I do need to go ahead and put in a protective buy stop, which I will do. And I'm going to go ahead and select a price just above this red line here, a red bar I should say. That's at 35.50, the high of that. So we'll go ahead and we'll put it at a buy stop at 35.50, buy stop right here like this, and then we'll be good to go. So maybe we'll pop up and get that other fill, but in the meantime we'll just go ahead and leave it the way it is and put the recording on pause and pick it up as the market dictates. Okay, just restarted the recording. It did pop up and fill us, so we are short 4. The average price is 21.34. So just going to leave the stop the way where it is right now at 21.3550, and I'm thinking about putting in a buy limit down in here, down into this area in here at 31. So I'm going to go ahead and try and buy back 2 at 21.31. So we've got that order in place. So anyway, that's it. Just for a quick update, and I'll go ahead and pause the recording again. Okay, just restarted the recording here. Market has continued to drop down. We're getting pretty close to our buy limit at 31. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this stop down to break even. Okay, there we just got filled on that. So I should put a marker in here. We were filled on that at 31 right here. So just put that marker right there, and our stop right now is our entry price right here. So this was the area here that we were looking at as likely support. The extension of this trade location zone produced by the day trade the market software is a likely target and as a potential support area. Now that the market has turned lower though and come back down and traded below this blue horizontal blue line that I have up here at 36.75, that was really a shift, and which of course led us into thinking that the market would have more downward pressure on it. So I need to change this down to just 2 here because we've exited half the position. And you can see here that we've got, let me use this, we've had our lightest aggressive selling right through here, but you can see it's continuing quite nicely on this 1 minute chart. all the highs are lower, so that's good to see. I do want to, I think, lower the stop at least a little bit here because when it gets down to the support area like it is, it's likely to have at least a bit of a bounce. So I'm going to go ahead and lower that stop. I'm going to lower it to 32.75, which is 3 ticks above the high of this most recent um, aggressive selling bar. It's our weakest of the three, but it's still aggressive selling. Utilizing the high of that at 32, gone ahead and placed the protective buy stop there at 32.75 for the second half of the position. So um, this still has a potential to move. I mean, it could very well get below this area of support right here at 30, and in which case, would obviously at that point, you know, uh, be coming down into this area in here. So with, probably the next target from that, I think we'd probably be looking at somewhere in the area of, let's say 27 or so, maybe 27.50. So at any rate, we've made the adjustment, and we're just going to keep watching the market. So when it's time to make another adjustment or we get filled on the stop or anything like that, I'll go ahead and restart the recording, but right now I'll go ahead and pause. Okay, just restarted the recording. We are getting continuation down. I want to go ahead and put in a buy limit for one of the two remaining contracts down here. I'm going to put it 28.50. Just kind of wanted to see what was going on here, but I will also reduce or lower the stop here to a couple of ticks above this red bar. You can see the high of that one is at 21.30.75. I'll put it at 21.31.25, lock in about 2 3/4 points on the second half. Um, we'll see if we can get filled on this one down here. I probably should have put it in earlier, knowing that this is a likely area of support around 27.50. Put it a point higher at 28.50. So anyway, that's the lay of the land at this moment. I will go ahead and put in one other of these markers in here at our stop, which is right now at 31.25, and I will also go ahead and put in a marker down here at 28.50. See if we can still get filled on that. So that's what's going on now, and once again I will go ahead and pause the recording. Okay, just starting the recording back up. It's back down at our buy limit here, so I'm just going to give it a minute or two and then market this. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and see if we, it's already taken a bit of a bounce, so go ahead and get out of that at 29. Okay, so there we go on that one. So we're just down to one contract right now, and we will, let's see, we've got our stop in here at 31.25. I think that's pretty good. Who knows, it could still perhaps even break through this area. You never know. But at any rate, we've got one contract left on this, and it's moving nicely. As you can see up here, it's 575 and 550 in our favor. So I'll just use the trailing stop. And the last bounce that we had here, it did get up to here before backing off. So and that high was at 30.25. And this red bar just before it, that was at a high of 30.75. So we've come down here and made a new low. So, or at least not for the day, but for this move. So I think what I'll do is I'm just going to tighten up that stop. I'm going to put it just one tick above that last bounce, and that is now at 30.50. So that'll lock in 3.5 on the final contract. So good, it's continuing to go down. So at any rate, I will go ahead and pause the recording and pick it up once, go ahead and adjust the stop again or get hit on it. Okay, just restarting the recording. Okay, there we go. We just got filled on that right there. So it was a good trade. We were short up here at 34, if you recall, and right from here. So our first objective was down here at 31. Then we got filled down here at 29 for one contract of the initial four, and then the final one here at 30.50. So a good trade, taking out 3 points on the first two, so that was 6 there. And then from 34 down to 29, that was another 5, so that was 11. and then another 3.5. So that's what, 14.5. So worked out to be a good trade. And I think utilizing the day trade the market software really does help to pinpoint these key areas. Like for example, when we had first gotten into this trade, down here when we knew that this was a support area and we could identify that there was aggressive selling with this red bar that came down through it, knowing that the top of this red bar would likely act as resistance. So we were able to get short in this area and then just follow it down according to the software, and also realizing too that where some of the likely areas of support were. So anyway, this is a live trade utilizing the day trade the market software. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.